and you're watching EduVent. Today we have our guest Mr. Nadeem Jafri, the soul of the brand Hearty Mart, and जिनके आज 14 stores है overall गुजरात में, especially in the north and central parts of the Gujarat, especially in the rural areas. Sir, my question is, what is the reason behind selecting the name Hearty Mart? And again, like you mentioned that you started your first outlet in the location Juhapura. And as far as I know, like Juhapura is considered to be a bit risky area because it has a lot of controversies connected to that. So I mean, I would really like to know what is the reason behind that thing.
So post 2002 riots, Vishala Circle started developing. It was the area where more real estate scheme apartments started developing, flourishing. But there was not a single good store there. So it gave us lots of. There was lots of business sense to go to an area which was devoid of any food grocery store there and have a first mover advantage. I agree with you that Juhapura had lots and lots of negativity attached. Right? We wanted to break this. We want to try and find out the reality. Now, in order to give a positive vibe about our store, we came up with this emotional name of Hearty Mart. Herein, my advertising experience, my background of communication helped me to coin a word which would connect with the hearts of our customers. So that is why we came up with Hearty Mart as a name, the friendly supermarket, and we chose Juhapura. As I had earlier mentioned, real estate cost was also less there compared to other areas. So investing and purchasing a property also made lots of sense.
Right. So I completely agree, and it is quite, like I must say that you are courageous enough to try these new things and the market that is untapped. Now my next question is, as you mentioned that you observed a few stores in Ahmedabad also when you started with Ahmedabad market, that Adani's small stores were already there. Then how did you cope up with the competition part, and also what was something different about Hearty Mart's and its marketing strategy to lure the customers and the walk-ins?
So first thing, Adani supermarkets were there everywhere. There were 54 stores, but they were not in Juhapura, and that was the idea for us to go there, to have a first mover advantage, as I already said. And now there were people who had, as I said, Vishala was a newly developed area, so people had come from other areas. So these people started, for their daily needs, they would go to their old area, old stores, because they were patronizing them, and they would purchase their daily needs there. So we came up with the positioning line about Sabse Khas Ghar ke Paas, where we were conveying to our customers that there is a convenience at your doorstep, so why do you want to go there? So that was a subtle message. Other communication, innovative communication which we did was, we came up with the scheme of giving discounts on day one. So when there was a launch of Hearty Mart, there was a CD which we created. In that CD, there was a jingle which was made. Now, we were launching Hearty Mart only in Juhapura, so going to Radio Mirchi did not make sense. With my experience of advertising and my network, we created a radio jingle in a CD in a loop of 36 repetition. That CD was used. There was a branded auto rickshaw which would go to our prospective customer base. There were 14 colonies which we had earmarked where our auto rickshaw would travel. This jingle was, we used to run this jingle, and whoever would stop and ask what it is, we would give them a leaflet which would have a perforated sheet of a discount coupon, and we would say that this is a supermarket which is coming, please do come to our store on day one. Right. So this we did with 14 colonies. Then here 14 colonies which were one within the vicinity of 1.5 kilometers, because your small retail store has a catchment area of not more than 1.1 to 1.5 kilometers. So we earmarked these colonies there, and we invited key people on day one with a personalized letter. So personalized letter was used, branded auto rickshaw was used, cable network was used, where the announcement was done about supermarket. In a local supplement, we had released an ad as well. So all these things put together the campaign on day one. For the footfall on day one was launched.
So it was like a 360-degree marketing campaign at the time when social media was not
Right.
there. You said you didn't even use the radio advertisements and everything, and it was again like pocket-friendly budget
Right.
that you
Yeah.
used to like for this 360-degree marketing campaign. Okay, that is quite innovative and quite creative. In the year 2004, I mean.
Right.
So the next question that most of the young entrepreneurs and young aspiring entrepreneurs are curious about is, how did you find investment for your startup, or maybe what was the model? Did you find any angel investment from outside, or was it a bootstrap model?
2004, the word startup was not coined, so there was no angel investor, there were no VC. At least they were not there to fund a startup like us. Unlike today, after 15-16 years, we have a very formatted way of going about. Then it was not there. My father had an investment kept aside for me. My father, unfortunately, in that time he had passed away, but he had some investment. I used that investment to have my share in the store. I approached my family members, I approached my community people and my friends, and collected a pool of almost 62 lakhs to start my business there. So basically it's a bootstrap partnership model, which is a conventional way of doing business of the past years. So with that bootstrap model, we created our first supermarket, and we diligently work on bottom lines. So rather than going on a valuation thing, we want that our store should earn a profit.
Right.
Our money should grow. Rather than valuation growing like stock market, the money should actually grow. So we work hard on our bottom lines, and that is how we created supermarket.
So that is just another lesson for all the young entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, that even without angel investments or fundings from outside, you can definitely try your hands on the bootstrap model. And if they can do that with very less amount of resources, then we can definitely try that model out. So just note that. So sir, as you said, you started with your first supermarket from the location Juhapura, and now as you have 14 more supermarkets in overall Gujarat, then how did you expand your retail chain?
So when things did not work out at Juhapura for almost 3 years, I was looking for something on my own. I mean, I was looking for personal sustenance. I started visiting various B schools. Because now I was not a burden on my store, so I had to earn on my own, apart from whatever business would give me, and business was not giving me anything. So I went and started visiting B schools. I started teaching students on advertising, marketing and retail subjects. So there was a chance visited MICA when one of the professor friend gave me an idea that I should start a franchisee chain of my supermarkets in rural setup. And I realized that I have a strong linkages in rural, because there is a community which are farmers in rural market, and they are hoteliers in urban market, and there is a social spiritual connect with them. So I thought if I approach them, I might start my franchising model.
Right.
Franchising. So with this idea in 2007, after 3 years of my Juhapura store, which was still in losses, I started a first franchising. But unfortunately, beyond a logo, I could not give them much, because I was trying to survive here. Now it was a classic case of "Aa Bail Mujhe Maar," because now there were 2 stores I had to look after. Right. So then there was strong need of having access to economies of scale. Unless I give loose food, grocery, spices, and daily need product at a discounted price to this retail outlet, the franchisee is not going to get grow, right? So how should I go about? So I started looking at the community again. As I have said, community had hotels in the cities, and they were farmers in villages. So we thought of creating a value chain. If I float a company in between these 2 extremes, which would connect my franchisee, which would connect the hotel, and create a value chain bridge, I might come up with a unique idea. With this logic, we started a new company. We went to our bootstrap investors who had partnered with my supermarket, and there were two other entrepreneurs who were into hotel supply business. So we partnered with them and we created a company called Hearty Mart Enterprise Private Limited, and we started catering to hotels. So when we started approaching these hotels, the hotel people, they knew me because of, as I said, a connect. So I did not have to sell myself. They knew that we have started Hearty Mart in Johapura. So they had I would say an average brand salience of supermarket there. So we approached them and we said, now we can purchase food grocery for your kitchen. We can purchase rice, spices, everything, and we can give you at a discounted price. And some of them started giving us orders and we started purchasing. So from here we got access to economies of scale. Now we were talking, so now our tone changed, because now we were talking to vendors for 50, 60, 70, 100 restaurants for the need of spices, lentils, dal, rice and all. So, and we started getting discount. We passed on this discount to our rural franchisee. So from here franchises started growing. Exactly. And this business also started growing. So Hearty Mart Enterprise then started scaling up. So these two worked out. So value chain worked out that way.
Right. So again, it was a very unconventional path that you decided to choose at that time, and maybe if I'm not right, that model is considered to be under the head of Horeca model that you just mentioned.
Horeca. So hotel, restaurants and catering, cafe supplies.
Yes. So if not the direct sales is improving, then you thought of converting it via the chain of this Horeca model.
Right.
That's quite interesting. So now, what are the mistakes that you made in your journey that you would like to tell our young entrepreneurs that they can, pay attention to?
Since every journey is very unique and very different.
Yes.
Every situation is very unique and different. So I would not say that they shouldn't do X, Y, Z. But I would say that they should be more courageous and they should not get disappointed or demoralized because of mistakes, whatever mistakes they have done. Right? So mistakes would definitely going to happen. There is no solution to that. Right? Tata also launched Nano, and according to, I don't know whether they consider it as a mistake or not, but they tried a unique thing which did not work out the way it should have been. So even if Tatas can fail, even we can fail. So failure or mistakes shouldn't hamper us. Once an entrepreneur can remain an entrepreneur, and we can always keep on exploring new ideas, new things, and change our route accordingly.
So then, what will be that one advice that you will like to give to young people who are aspiring to become an entrepreneur? That one advice that you would like to give them?
So, for message for all aspiring entrepreneurs is that they should never follow the herd mentality. If my friend is an entrepreneur, I would also like to be an entrepreneur is not the right approach.
Right.
The qualities which an entrepreneur should have is passion to work, patience in the time of crisis, and should be a people's person. Because entrepreneurship is not an individual's job. It is a collective effort. The team which works with you is equal part of success story. So you should be large-hearted enough to give credit to them, take them along. If you can do all these things, you can be an entrepreneur. If you can't, then you are cut out for a corporate job. Then forget about entrepreneurship and focus on your work.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. It was pleasure having you here, and it was a really great session. We got some really insightful information and lessons to the world of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial journey. And thank you so much. The young minds will definitely get a lot of motivation and lessons from you.
Thank you very much, and pleasure. All the best to you.